I basically push him away, and I fall face first onto the concrete. Okay, excuse the quality of the camera. I'm on my phone right now, but it's future Kylia. I'm in the middle of editing, but I wanted to preface before this video starts that if you haven't seen part 1, please go and watch it. This whole story will make a lot more sense if you watch part 1, because this is part 2. So yeah, and the video's cut off very abruptly, so this story just jumps right back into where I left off. If you haven't seen part 1, go and watch it right now. If you have seen part 1 and you're coming to see part 2, then I hope you enjoy. Okay, goodbye. Bye. Obviously, this wouldn't be as interesting of it. I wouldn't have even made a story time about this if nothing else would have happened after this, right? So, we get into the car. I get in the back seat. Friend C gets in the back seat. Friend B is driving. Nobody's in the passenger seat, okay? Okay, this is where things start to escalate even more. So, obviously you guys know, like from what I said earlier, why are you parking right next to me, sis? Please don't. Okay, I thought this car was about to park next to me. I'm in a parking lot right now, and I'm like so far away from the stores. Like, there's no reason to park next to me. Oh, she is parking next to me. Okay. Okay. Why do people do that? Why do people park right next to you when you're literally not even close to the store? But anyway, okay. Back to what I was saying. We're in the car. The apartment complex is 40 minutes away, okay? Apartment complex, the goal is to get to the apartment complex from where we're at, which is slightly in the mountains, okay? It's 11 p.m. at night, 11:30 p.m. at night. So it's super dark, okay? Now, I don't know, from what I can remember and from in my head, I get in the car, it's dark, and I don't hear any music, okay? Specifically, like this is specific what I hear. I don't hear any music, or either I don't hear any music or the music is really low, okay? And I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. My thoughts are still like brewing. Like if I maybe if the music was louder, or if I had like focused more on the music, I would have been like, okay, like let me just chill. Like I like this song. Like let me just, okay, is this Drake? Like let me listen to some music, okay? But no, I didn't hear any music. And so I'm just still sitting in the back with my thoughts. And at this point, I still didn't tell anybody like what I was like thinking or feeling. Like I was not about to be like that weirdo bitch. So I was like, okay, let's just try and relax. So I'm sitting in the back, eyes are closed. Couldn't do that because my thoughts were just brewing too much. So I'm like, okay, let's do something else. Let's try and talk to my friend C. Okay? So friend C, I turned to friend C and I started talking to her, or trying to talk to her. In my head, I don't know why, I don't know if this is true or not, but it just seemed like she was like, she didn't want to talk, which is like fine because she was also high, okay? She was also high. So I'm pretty sure she was just trying to chillax, because maybe she was like feeling some type of way and she was like, okay, I don't want to escalate it either. I don't really know, but when I looked to, I kid you not, when I looked to my right to try and talk to her, I see her look at me and turn back around and did not like say any other words to me throughout the car ride. So I'm like, what the freak is happening? In my mind, I'm like, why is she ignoring me? What the freak? So this is where it escalates more, because I'm like, homegirl's not talking to me. Like what do I do? Now friend B is in the front. She's just chilling, like just driving, and she's kind of talking to us a little bit. She's like, okay, like we'll be there in about 40 minutes, just like relax, you know, whatever. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, like why is friend C not talking to me? Like why did she just look at me and ignore me? Like what did I do? So now I'm like even more like over analyzing everything. I'm like, okay, so at this point, I promise you, I'm like, am I passed away? Like, am I gone? Like, have I passed away? But not fully. I'm kind of like thinking that, but I'm like, okay, have I passed away? Like, maybe she looked at me and like maybe this is like, I kid you not, I'm like, maybe this is like a demon or something. Maybe I'm driving to the pits of hell right now. I kid you not, like, I'm not over exaggerating right now. I'm telling you exactly what I thought. I'm like, maybe I'm driving to the pits of hell right now. I'm already passed away, and this is like my destiny. Like I am done for. Like this. So I start in my mind, I'm like praying to God. I'm like, God, I'm so sorry. Like I'm like, this is probably sounding so funny, but I'm telling you, this is exactly what I did. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like I'm so sorry for taking that edible. I know I should not have taken that. I know like I shouldn't have been drinking. I should have been doing all these things. Like I'm so sorry. And I'm like repenting from my sins, okay? I'm like, please, like I just want to live. Like I don't know what's happening right now. I'm so confused. I don't want to be high anymore. Like I don't want this. Like please, like help me. Right? Okay, so all that happens and I'm like, okay, like Lord,
I'm sorry.
Okay. homegirl, friend C over here is chilling still, and I'm still so mad because I'm like, why is she so chill right now and I'm freaking out? So I don't know if she actually did say something to me. I don't remember, but what I do remember is like her looking at me. Maybe she said something, but I just didn't hear it. But I just didn't see, like, she was so chill. It wasn't like, oh yeah, like what, like a normal conversation. Okay, it was like, and then like back to, like, she was, I kid you not, she was like looking out her window, like not even looking straight, looking out her window. So I'm like, is this a freaking demon? Like, am I in the car with two demons? And it was so weird because like my friend is sitting in the front right here, driver's seat, driving us. And like I can see her in the rearview mirror, in the, whatever this, is this called the rearview mirror? In the rearview mirror. I can see her just focusing on the road. She's focusing on the road, okay? She's not like trying to talk to us or whatever. And so in my head, I'm like, dude, why is she like staring at me in the rearview mirror? And she wasn't staring at me, but I'm just saying, like, that's what I thought in my head. I'm like, she's freaking staring at me. Like, why is she staring at me? Why is Friend C over here not talking to me? Why is she ignoring me? And why is she staring at me? Like, what is happening? Okay, so we're about 20 minutes away from my apartment now, okay? Friend B says, hey, we're about 20 minutes away from the apartment. Like, if you want to call Justin, which is my boyfriend, if you want to call Justin, like, let him know that we're going to be there soon, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. Mind you, so I haven't texted anybody or anything yet, okay? I haven't even been on my phone yet. I pull my phone out and I text my boyfriend. I'm like, hey, we're almost gonna be at the apartment. Like, can you please be there? Because I'm like tripping out of my freaking mind right now. Like, I don't know what's happening. And I basically explained everything, like how we took an edible, and like I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just feeling very anxious, okay? He responds, oh babe, it's okay, like I'll be there, like you're fine. I don't know why people being so calm in this situation escalated it for me so badly. It's nobody's fault except mine, but I'm just saying, like, every little thing like was anxiety driven. He was being so calm, like, hey, like, you're gonna be fine, like, it's just, you know, you're just probably having a bad trip, like, and he was using like emojis and everything, like you're probably just having a bad trip, bro, like, just calm down, like, you're good. And in my head, I'm like, bro, why are you so calm? Like, why, like, do you not understand what I just said? My heart is beating out of my chest still, and I feel like I cannot breathe. Friend C is over here not talking to me. Friend B is in the rearview mirror staring at me while she's driving. I feel like I'm going to the pits of hell right now. I just repented of all my sins, and you're over here saying, it's gonna be fine. Okay, so anyways, I'm like, okay, can you FaceTime me, please? Because I need you to, like, calm me down. So I FaceTime him, okay? So I'm gonna try and set the scene for you to show you what I thought, okay? I FaceTime this dude. I FaceTime my boyfriend, okay? And he has the phone like this, okay? So you can only see like this part of his head. He has it like this. So I can only see his eyes and his forehead, and then I can see the background of wherever he was at, okay? So I don't know if he was in the, I think he was in the store, okay? I think he was in like Ralph's or something. Or maybe he was in the apartment, I don't know. But I kid you not, the background of where he looked like he was in looked like he was walking through a hospital, okay? And I'm gonna say, and like, this is what I mean when I say that. In a hospital, the top, like the ceilings and like around you, everything is white, okay? And you have those bright lights. Like, you know, if anyone's seen Grey's Anatomy, that's like the best way I can describe it. If they're like bringing somebody in on a gurney and the scene is like the person waking up, right? And it's like, all they see is like lights at the top, like on the ceiling of them, like, and they're like pushing them on the gurney. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, that's what I saw, okay? I saw him with the phone like this, looking on FaceTime at me, and I saw like those lights, okay? So immediately, I'm like, my heart dropped. I'm like, why is he in the hospital? Okay? I'm like, why is he in the hospital? What are you guys not telling me? And so now this idea of me being passed away is locked in my mind. I'm fully convinced that so this is what was in my mind. I'm fully convinced at this point in time that I have passed away, okay? I feel like I'm thinking I passed away, and I'm a very religious person, okay? I grew up Christian. My parents, you know, I went to church with my parents, and even besides that, because that doesn't just make you very, you know, religious, but I had a relationship with God and with Jesus and everything like that. I read my Bible, but ever since I got to college, I wasn't doing those things as often. I wasn't reading my Bible, wasn't talking to the Lord as much, okay? So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I have passed away and nobody told me. Nobody has told me that I passed away, that I'm gone. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, at this point, I'm like, I'm toast. Like, I'm literally like, I'm cooked. Like, I can't do anything anymore. Like, I'm gone. So I'm thinking my boyfriend's in the hospital. My boyfriend's in the hospital because I passed away, and this is not my body. I'm a spirit right now. I'm telling you, I sound so stupid when I'm saying this, but like, this is exactly what I thought. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a spirit right now. I'm like, I'm a spirit. My boyfriend's in the hospital because my body has been taken there, and I'm in the car with a demon, with 2 demons. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I'm in the car with 2 like other spirits that are either like demons or I don't know, but these are not my friends. Like, I'm not in the car with my friends right now. I am on because I'm telling you, it was so pitch black. And obviously it was pitch black because we were coming out of the mountains, okay? So until we like got kind of onto the freeway, I was like, dude, like, where are we driving to? Like, where are we going right now? Like, are we going to hell or like, where are we going? So I'm like, it's freaking dark. Like, this is the only thing that makes sense. Like, I have to be deceased right now. I have to be a spirit. I have to be like heading, like, I'm in purgatory, I think is what it's called. Purgatory is like when you're in between, like what I think Catholics and Christians, I don't know, they believe it's like the in-between from when you die to when you go to like heaven or whatever, and they believe it's like an in-between time. They call it purgatory, and it's supposed to be like, you're basically in nowhere. You're a spirit and you're just kind of wandering around until, you know, you go up or down. Excuse me. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this all makes sense now. I'm in purgatory right now. Like, I'm for real in purgatory, and I'm on the phone. Now, also, if you guys have seen the movie Lovely Bones, this situation kind of reminds me of that, because the whole movie is based off of this little girl who passes away because somebody, a disgusting, gross old man, offs her, right? Kidnaps her first and offs her, and basically the whole movie is told by her in her point of view, but after she passes away. So it's basically like her spirit talking about it, right? But when she passes away, she doesn't know at the beginning. She doesn't know right away. So she like goes home like to go see her family, but nobody can see her because she's a spirit. So it was giving the same like thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, either everybody knows that I'm already passed away and I don't know that I'm gone already. Like, I'm like still going through like these scenarios as if I'm, you know, alive, but I'm literally not. So I'm on the phone, back to being on FaceTime with my boyfriend. I'm on FaceTime with my boyfriend and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, like, where are you at? So I'm like grilling him. I'm like, where are you at? Like, what are you doing? I have not taken a singular bite of my Chipotle this whole time. I just realized that. My Chipotle is about to be so cold. I'm sorry. I knew this was gonna happen because I knew I was gonna get too into this story and I wasn't gonna eat my food. Dang it. Okay, hold on. Nope. It's cold. It is stale. Kind of. Anyway. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Cool. I'm gone. I basically accept my fate. And I'm like, okay. So I'm grilling Justin. I'm like, where are you? Like, and I was trying to get him to be like, oh, I want him to say, like, oh, I'm at the hospital. But he wasn't. So I'm like, okay, where are you at? What are you doing? Like, why are you at home? Like, how far are you from the apartment? Are you gonna be there to pick me up? Like, all these things. I'm like asking all these questions. And he's still so calm. He's like, oh no, like, I'm in the house. And I'm thinking he's lying to me. So I'm like, bro, I can see that you're in the freaking hospital. Like, just tell me. And he's like, I'm not, babe. Like, I'm at the house. I'm waiting for you to get to your apartment so I can drive there and pick you up and we can go home. I'm like, you're lying. You're lying. Like, you are literally lying to my face. What the freak? So during this time, like after I call him, I think he hangs up, and then I'm still anxious. So I think I texted my mom. I don't remember exactly what I texted her. Maybe if I find it, I will put it on the screen so you guys can see. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I texted my mom too. And I think I didn't say like anything that happened, but I think I was just like, oh, like, I love you. Like, I was freaking the flip out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no way I'm gone. And I didn't even get a chance to say bye or I love you to my loved ones. I have to text my mom. I'm like, okay. So I text my mom. I forgot when I text her, but I text her, okay? Okay. So that's all I remember from being in the car, okay? We're gonna get on to phase 3. So phase 3 is the apartment. So phase 1 was going to the event. Phase 2 was getting high out of my mind and kind of like the car ride. Phase 3 is the apartment. Getting back to my apartment, okay? Phase 3. So honestly, this video would have still been interesting if it would have ended in phase 2, but it didn't, okay? I wish it would have ended in phase 2, okay? And you'll know why eventually, but it doesn't. So phase 3 is we get to my apartment complex, okay? We are finally there, and everything is still chill. I'm chill, friend B is chill, friend C is chill. So at my old apartment complex, usually it's a gated community, or it's a gated, not community, but in order to get into the parking garage, it's 2 gates. And friend A, whose car we had, she did not have the sensors in her car to open it up. So there's a cul-de-sac at the end of our apartment complex, and you could just drop people off. A lot of people just drop people off at the cul-de-sac, and then you can just walk through a gate, and then you just go up to your apartment complex. Okay? So we get to the cul-de-sac. Friend C hops out. I hop out, and as I'm like hopping out, I still feel the exact same way. I'm thinking I'm like not alive, but I'm like, okay, like, let me just get out of this car. So I hop back kind of into reality, and I'm like, okay. And I'm still not like flipping out. Like, I was chill. Even my friends were like, you were chill up until you saw Justin. So, and I can't even tell you why. Like, I don't even know why, like that, why something snapped in me. And so yeah, I'm getting out of the car, and I'm like hyper fixated once again on not trying to make a scene, right? And I'm like, okay, I have to. I'm like immediately, I just remember, I'm like, my purse is under the seat, under the passenger seat. I'm like, okay, get your purse, get your stuff, and get the freak out, okay? And just go to your room. That's all you gotta do. All you gotta, in the room, it's maybe like a 1.5-minute walk. All you gotta do is go up 3 flights of stairs, walk there with your boyfriend, and not make a peep, not make a scene. Just do the same thing you did. Do the same thing you did when you walked from the event to the car. All you gotta do, walk from here to the apartment. Don't make a scene. Don't talk. Don't think. Don't even think. Don't think about anything. Just go to your room. I wish I would have done that, but I didn't. Okay? I get out of the car with my stuff, and I'm just gonna, so everything after this, I do remember some snippets of what happened after I got out of the car, but I don't remember everything, and everything that I remember is kind of different from what everybody else remembered seeing, like all the witnesses, okay? So I get out of the car, and what everybody tells me is that I snapped, like something, like as soon as I saw my boyfriend, because he was there waiting for us, something snapped, like he just triggered something, and I flipped out. So I get out of the car, and I'm walking to my boyfriend's like, okay, let's just walk to the gate. All you gotta do is walk to the gate. So I get out of the car, I'm supposed to walk to a gate. Gate opens, and there's like a foyer. I think that's the right word. It's like basically you walk through the gate, you're inside the apartment complex, and there's a pool, there's places to sit, and it's kind of like a U-shaped, okay? So it's like a U-shaped, there's a pool, and then there's apartments surrounding the entire pool, okay? And then there's balconies, everybody has balconies, right? And then, yeah, and there's hallways, just like a regular apartment complex. I get out, and I start flipping out. I'm like, apparently I start running around, okay? So I'm running around, I get into the gate, and it's kind of like hard, they're trying to get me to the gate, but I'm like refusing, kind of. I'm like, no, like I don't want to go like into the gate, like, I can't go. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys what I thought, what was in my mind at this point. after like I kind of explained what everybody else was saying, okay? Everybody else is trying to get me to go through the gate so I can go get into the apartment complex, go up the stairs, and go to my room. And I'm just refusing. I'm like, I can't go into the gate. They're saying like, yeah, you were like refusing to go through the gate for whatever reason. Like you were saying like, I was speaking gibberish. Like I was like, I can't go. I'm like that. I don't want to go yet. Like I'm not ready to go. I can't go over there. Whatever. They finally get me to the gate, and I book it, not towards my apartment. Okay, I book it like the opposite direction of my apartment, and I'm running down the hallway. Okay, so I'm running down the hallway. My boyfriend is chasing after me. Okay. I'm running down the hallway, and at this point there weren't really other people outside. It was already like 12 a.m. It was us three, me, friend C, I don't remember if friend B was there. I don't know if she stayed in the car or if she got out, but from what I remember, it was just friend C, my boyfriend, and then not really anybody else until I started running around. So I'm running around, okay? My boyfriend's chasing me, and I'm running around. In his eyes, he doesn't know why I'm running around. He's like, what is happening? He doesn't even know, like, I think he knows I took an edible, but he doesn't know, like, what type of edible it was. Like, he didn't really know anything. So he's like freaking out. He's like, what the freak is happening? Like, I've never seen anybody do this. I've never seen her do this, let alone anyone. I'm running around. As I'm running around, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. I'm like, get away from me. Like, I'm like saying, get away from me. Don't touch me. I don't want to go over there. Like, every single thing in the book to like try not to go wherever they're trying to take me, because I guess it slipped my mind all of a sudden that I wasn't going to my room. I thought I was going somewhere else. So I'm running around screaming this, and as I'm screaming more, people are starting to come to their balconies, okay? And mind you, this is my apartment complex, okay? The apartment complex that I live in. Okay, people are starting to come to their balconies, okay? On the first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, like everybody. Not everybody, but a lot of people. Now there's two foyers, like there's two connected. One has a pool, one is just like a grass area, and I'm running in between both of them, okay? So there's people that are by the pool area, like their apartments are by the pool area, that are coming out into their balconies, obviously, because they're like, what is happening? What is that noise? Who's screaming? Whatever. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And then there's people on the other side where there's no pool that are also coming out to see like what the fuck is going on, okay? So I'm like running around, and so at first they're kind of like, okay, let's just like try and get her to like cooperate, and then let's just get her back to the apartment, okay? It's not happening. I kid you not, I jumped onto somebody's balcony, okay? Not like, it wasn't like a balcony like on the second floor or anything. It was the first floor balcony. I jumped over somebody's balcony. I don't know if I ran through their house or not, or into their apartment, but I know I jumped over their balcony. And so Justin, my boyfriend, is trying to like grab me. Like he's trying to like get me from jumping over their balcony, because I'm telling you, I'm running away from my boyfriend. And so he's like trying to grab me, blah blah blah. And so, excuse me, trying to grab me back, right? Because he's like, he doesn't want me to go on their balcony, obviously. He grabs me, and I basically push him away, and I fall face first onto the concrete, okay? Okay, I fall face first onto the concrete, and everybody around me at this point, there's like a lot of people out. People had been called, like some of my roommate had been called, because they're like, you need to come out here and like see what the fuck is going on with your roommate, because I don't, like, she's on one. And then some other people that I knew had been called, and they were like, because I was like right outside their balcony. So I'm like hopping over this random person's balcony, fall flat on my face, and at this point everyone's like, they take a sigh of relief. Everyone's like, oh, okay, she's out like a light. That because I apparently hit my face hard, or hit whatever hard, and they're like, okay, she's for surely done. Like, okay, we're cool.
Nope.
I get right back up like nothing happened. I get back up, and I jump back over the gate or something. I don't know if I jumped back over it or whatever, if I just jumped up and left and like started running again, but I got back up, started running again. I started running around again. And so I will tell you guys what I thought, okay? I will explain what I thought, okay? Once again, this is gonna sound so wild, but this is just true, okay? I legit thought that once I got out of the car, I saw my boyfriend, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, that's not my boyfriend. That is not my boyfriend, okay? And I don't mean like, oh, that doesn't look like him. I legit thought, that's not my boyfriend. Like, that's a trick. I thought, okay, I basically passed away already, okay? I have accepted my fate already. I'm passed away. I'm gone. But I must be in purgatory, and this must be a test, okay? This must be the last test before God decides if I'm gonna go to hell or heaven. Like, legitimately, I thought this, okay? I don't know where this came from, but this is what I was thinking, okay? So don't even ask me, like, I don't know. So I'm thinking this is a test. In my mind, I'm like, this is a test. All of these things are like worldly things. Like, these are things that I cannot like get into. Okay. One of those being my boyfriend. My boyfriend is standing there, arms wide open. He's like, babe, just come with me. We'll go to the room. I will take you to the room and let's just go. We can go to sleep, okay? And in my head, I'm like, that's the number one test. That is not my boyfriend. I do not know who that is. I'm not going with you, okay? I'm not about to be sent to the deep, dark depths of hell, okay? Because I'm going with you. So I'm literally like, this is why I started, in my mind, what I'm thinking, this is why I started sprinting and like running away from him, because I was like, this is a trick. Like, this is a joke. I don't know who this is. So that's why I started running. Nobody else knows this. Nobody else is understanding why I'm running, but this is what I'm thinking. So I'm running away. In between, sometime between this, I remember throwing up, okay? I threw up on my shirt. Like, I literally was just standing there and just throwing up. Like, literally projectile vomiting onto my shirt, onto the ground, like, disgusting, okay? Anyway, that happens at one point, and then I'm running around still. I don't know how long this went on for. I could probably ask, but I don't remember myself. I'm pretty sure it went on for a while, okay? Long enough for the ambulance to be called, okay? The ambulance were called, okay? I don't know who called the ambulance, but the ambulance were called, okay? Not the police, just the ambulance. Eventually, after doing all these things, like, I was jumping over people's balconies. My boyfriend was trying to grab me. I was legit, like, fighting my boyfriend, like, fighting him physically, like, trying to get away from him, okay? Physically trying to get away from him because, like, in my mind, it was, like, the number one, like, I cannot be around you. I don't know who you are. So he's, like, the main one that was trying to, like, grab me, obviously, because, like, nobody else is gonna, like, you know, that's weird. So he was the main one that was trying to, and I felt so bad after this happened because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I literally was fighting you. But anyway, I was kind of strong. Everybody was saying I was strong after this. But anyway, sorry. So anyway, I'm fighting him, trying to, like, do everything that I can to get away from him. And eventually, he kind of calms me down, okay? So the ambulance come at this point, and everybody's out already. Like, I didn't even care. Like, people were walking around, like, watching me, like, controllably run out of my mind, screaming at the top of my lungs. And, like, they're all watching me, like, okay, what the freak? And I didn't care. I had no embarrassments in me. Like, I was no longer hyper fixated on trying to act normal. Like, I literally, like, all hell broke loose. Like, I wasn't even in my right mind. Like, I didn't know. I was not in reality. Like, I just thought I was passing away. And I thought, like, these are the last tests in my life. Like, I have to make it to heaven. Like, excuse me. Like, I think I thought, like, if I went through that gate, I think it was like, okay, once I go through this gate, at the beginning, like, when my boyfriend was trying to get me to go through the gate and saying, let's just go upstairs, I was thinking, once I go through this gate, this is when the test begins. And I need to be, like, fight or flight mode. And that's what I think, like, in my head. That's why I was, like, thinking. So that's why I was, like, immediately, like, I started running. Like, I was a track star, okay? So that all happens, okay? They kind of get me to calm down. I've thrown up. I've ran a freaking mile around both of these buildings. Everybody has came out because I'm being loud as fuck, screaming out of the top of my lungs in gibberish. And my roommate has been called down. People that I know that live in this apartment complex are literally outside watching me, like, flip my lid. And the ambulance are there, okay? So everybody's surrounding, kind of like sitting by the pool, okay? My roommate, everybody. And at this point, I'm just like, I'm, like, contained. Like, I'm not running around anymore, but I'm, like, yelling random shit, okay? I'm trying not to cuss, but I was literally yelling random stuff. Like, everything was just random. Nobody knew what I was saying. Nobody knew what I was talking about. And so my roommate is trying to, like, talk to me, and I say these things, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't even know what I was thinking. Like, I don't know if I thought, like, I thought I was still passed away, but I don't know what I think I thought everybody around me was, like, just like a spirit, and they're trying to like calm me down and be like, hey, like this is your life now, like you're gone, like you're not on the world anymore, you have to calm down, like you, like basically I'm like, I can't. It was more so like what it feels like. It was like I couldn't comprehend the fact that I was gone, and so like all these people around me are trying to be like, hey, like calm down, like you have to accept it now, and you know, this is what it is. And so I'm like standing there and I'm just like saying random stuff. I'm like basically doing the same thing I was doing in the car in my mind, but I was doing it out loud. So I was repenting for my sins, okay? Once again, I'm like, God, I am so sorry for taking the edible. I am so sorry. Like, I'm telling you, there's like at least 20 people watching, okay? And I'm like, I am so sorry for taking the edible. Like, please forgive me. Like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for this. I'm so sorry for that. I'm so sorry for doing all these things in my life. Like, please forgive me. Like, any freaking thing I could think of that would have been bad, that I would have been punished for, I was freaking blurting out. I'm like, I'm sorry for having sex. I'm sorry for doing this. I'm sorry for doing that. Like, every freaking, I was over here thinking it was Judgment Day. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say everything, okay? Like, please. And so I say all that stuff, right? And eventually, like, the ambulance, or the paramedics, sorry, they're like talking to me. They're like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, what's your name? Like, calm down. Like, they're being super chill. But at this point, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, like, why are they being chill? Like, I was just kind of like, okay, like, it's a little bit better, okay? So after that, I don't really know how I got from the ambulance to, from the apartment complex to into the ambulance, but I did. Okay, this is stage 4. Yeah, this is stage 4, phase 4. Sorry, this is like a shorter phase. Phase 4 is just ambulance and hospital. Okay, so I don't remember how I got from point A to point B into the ambulance, but they eventually got me into the ambulance, because I do remember this. And at this point, my boyfriend had already called my mom, and what my mom said was so crazy was that my mom didn't like come down, because I was about 2 hours away from my hometown. She didn't come down or anything because the paramedics had already gotten there, and like it was chill. But, well, it wasn't chill, but they had already gotten there. So my boyfriend's on the phone with my mom, because he was like, he didn't know what to do. He was like confused. He's like, what the freak did she take? Why is she acting like this? He thought I took something crazy. He thought something I took was like, I took something that was like laced with something or whatever, because he was like, why is she acting like this? No, it was just some weed, honey, and I just don't know how to control myself. Anyway, he calls my mom, and my mom's like, you know, what's happening, blah blah. He's like explaining it to her, and she said that in the background she could hear me yelling, yapping everyone's ears off. But she said I was talking so fast, she didn't even know what I was saying. She said I was literally, she's like, I was genuinely impressed. Like, all jokes aside, I was genuinely impressed, because you were speaking a mile per minute. Like, nobody could understand you. You were just yapping, like you were just blabbing away. And I'm like, that's actually insane. Because I do remember speaking, I don't remember speaking that fast, but I just remember I was like saying about everything that was on my mind. Like, it was like everything that was on my mind was just like, I was just saying it. So like, I had no filter. So I get into the ambulance. My mom had already been called, and then I'm in the ambulance. Okay, this is when the next kind of like interesting thing happens. So my boyfriend didn't ride in the ambulance with me. I think he just drove separately, because they were like, you can't be in here. I think it was just like, I don't know, I don't remember why, but I do remember the paramedics being in the back with me. So I'm on the stretcher in the back of the ambulance, and they're trying to put an IV in me or some type of thing, or it's either an IV or something in my arm. So they're trying to give me like a shot, whatever. I don't know if it was a shot. I think it was an IV. Anyway, the lady starts putting it in my arm, or starts trying to put it in my arm, and I'm chill at this point. I'm just like sitting there, and all of a sudden I see her, and I'm not like scared of needles or anything, but I see her putting it in my arm, and I immediately in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh. Don't even ask me why I thought this, but in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm allergic to penicillin. Okay, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm allergic to freaking penicillin. I have to tell her this. So I immediately jerk my arm away, and I'm like, I'm allergic to penicillin. Like, I just start saying that over and over. Like, I'm allergic. Like, you can't do this to me. Like, I can't. Like, you're gonna like I can't do it. Like, you cannot put that on my arm. Like, mind you, I'm not fucking allergic to penicillin. Okay, I'm not nowhere near allergic to penicillin. Okay, So I don't even know why I was thinking this, but like I am not allergic to anything. I think maybe except cats, but I'm not allergic to anything. I'm not allergic to any type of thing, any, and she wasn't even putting penicillin in my arm, okay? Like that had nothing to do with it. So I don't even know why I said that, but I'm like, I'm allergic to penicillin. And that's like the main, like that's all I can think about. I was like, I'm allergic. She's trying to put this in my arm and I cannot have this, like, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm physically fighting this lady. I'm like, who's trying to help me? Okay, mind you, she's trying to put an IV in me so that they can pump me with something that's gonna like calm me down. And I'm just like fighting. I'm like, no, you can't do it. Like, you can't put it on my arm. Like, you can't do that. I'm doing that for a good like 5 minutes, okay? Like, I'm like, no, you can't. I mean, I didn't like hit her or anything, but I was just like moving my arm and like just like squirming, and because obviously you have to stay still for them to put it in, and I was just like not letting her put it in. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, sorry lady, whoever you are, if you're out there, I'm so sorry if you see this video. I'm so sorry to everybody if you were out there, if you witnessed this all happen, and if you have videos of it, please keep them in the deep dark depths of your phone. I never want to see them ever, okay? Anyway, but after about 5 minutes I calmed down because she had the IV in my arm, obviously, and I calmed down, and I don't remember anything after that. I don't remember the car. I think I just probably fell asleep, but I don't remember the car ride. I don't remember the car ride to the hospital. I don't remember getting to the hospital or anything like that. All I remember after that is I woke up in the hospital, okay? I woke up in the hospital. Now, maybe this was like a foreshadowing when I thought Justin was in the hospital, and now I'm like, oh, I'm in the hospital, okay. Anyway, I get to the hospital, I'm in the hospital, I wake up. Mind you, the ambulance people didn't come until like 1:30 a.m. Wednesday night, or technically Thursday morning, but it was Wednesday, okay? April 6th, okay? April 6th was the day that we went, so Wednesday. We went Wednesday night. We left the place at 11:30, around 11:30 p.m.-ish. Got to my place at around 12 a.m., so technically it's the next day, right? But not really. 12 a.m. Thursday. I get to the hospital at around like 2 a.m. Thursday, and I don't wake up until 12 hours later at the hospital. I woke up at 2 p.m. at the hospital. Nobody's in my room, and nobody, like, literally I'm just sitting on a bed in the hospital by myself, like no recollection of what the fuck happened last night. Like, I don't even know. I guess I kind of knew a little bit what happened, like my version of things. Like, I was like, okay, like am I gone? Like, am I still alive? That's what I was thinking. I was not thinking, oh my gosh, like, I just made a whole gigantic scene in front of people that I know, and like this is embarrassing, like blah blah. So I wake up, nobody's there. I'm like, okay. The first thing I thought of was like, okay, I have to pee. And so I had my clothes on from the night before, with like the rope staying on my shirt, disgusting. And then I had like those things that they put on you, little dress. So I'm like, okay, I have to pee. So I get up, I walk out of my room, and then like immediately there's like a desk obviously there, and like the people are like, oh, like, what's, like, how are you, do you need anything? And I'm like, hi, I just want to know where the bathroom's at. So they direct me to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom, and I'm just like staring in the mirror. I'm like, what the actual freak happened last night? So I come back to the room I was in. I go on my phone, and then I have a bunch of text messages. It's like, hey, like, we hope you're okay, like, we saw everything that happened last night. I'm like, what? Like, okay. And then my boyfriend texts me, and he's like, hey, I heard that they said that you're awake. I'm gonna come pick you up in like 20 minutes, okay? So he comes to pick me up, and yeah, that was literally pretty much it. He picks me up, we go back to my apartment, and my friend C and my roommate are both in the living room when I walk in, and they're like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, you know, like, what's up? Like, how do you feel? And I'm like, I feel good. Like, I was trying to act like nothing happened, kind of. I'm like, oh yeah, like, well, because I didn't really know like what happened, so in my mind I'm like I'm good. Like I didn't just wake up in the fucking hospital, okay? But I'm like, yeah, like, I'm good. Like, what? Like, yeah, I mean, cool. So I go to my room, I go to sleep, and I remember being so tired after this. Like, I was so tired. I woke up with bruises everywhere. I woke up with bruises on my leg, on my cheekbone, like. Okay, so my camera actually died, but here are some of the bruises that I had. I had a bunch of cuts. I had a bruise on my chin and my cheek. and I had a bunch of cuts and bruises on my legs, my arms, my toe. And yeah, so that was the end of my story time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this wild, crazy story, and let me know if you want me to do more. Thanks for watching. Bye. Love you.